I should bring that up so I have. Whoops.
Oh, let me see what I did. Okay. So that was what I went through and looked at my schedule. Like, okay, now I remember. God. I hit our live button. What's up, everybody? I'm Martian Cat.
I am here.
And this is off the books. We're rolling through some stuff. We're just gonna be talking about everything. Like, I didn't write any notes down or nothing. I knew kind of basically what we were gonna talk about. So it's gonna be a good time. So
I am by the seat of our pants.
exactly. Come on. That's where the most fun part is.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh boy. Waiting on people. You're fine.
I was like, yeah, so we're talking about our favorites from the last year and why I made a bad decision in the last.
What? I was busy. I didn't see whatever bad decision you made in the Royal Masquerade. I mean, you made a bad decision several chapters ago too.
Oh my god.
We'll
I'm
get
starting to
there.
cry
Don't
already
worry.
laughing.
I won't come too hard, I promise.
Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, love it. Looked at my so I think a fire emoji works. Getting roasted works. All right. So, Fishty, I know you're gonna be streaming tonight. Are you? It's mismatched tonight, right? After this,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Um,
2 or
what's
3
up, brown eyes
chapters.
girl? Oh, how many chapters you gotta do?
Either 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. I was
I
like,
don't
ooh,
know.
okay.
See how long we can go.
Brown eyed beauty says, "Guess who's here? Kind of still at work." Oh, I'm sorry.
We appreciate your sacrifice of shitty Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Nia, thank you.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Sneaking in a little bit of time with. uh, so cool.
Quiet for me too. Like I'm just sitting here going, so how's the weather?
Oh wow. Yeah. So in the last had a good amount of streams. I know I looked and I was like, wow, we only did like maybe 3 or 4 books on Saturdays, but you way more streams than I do. So how many books did you end up reading last year?
Oh my God. So I was thinking about this. I was like, do I even have a list of everything that I had read? Because I didn't always make graphics and I wasn't always getting like keeping an actual schedule.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me see what I can find. I
Yeah.
should have had that up. If I had been a more professional person, I would have had that up. Let's see what I've got here. How far do I go back? I only go back to May.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like you don't have to go the whole year.
Like, no, that's gotta be wrong. I've gotta go. No, wait, no, I do have the whole year. Wow. When did I do that? Well, it's not the total real. I think I started making schedules in like March, apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I know I started seeing your schedule graphics and stuff just to kind of keep. I think probably just to keep it all straight, right?
Yeah, when you have too many things going on. Nope, there it is. That says January. Okay, so wait, I did have it the whole time. It's just I didn't change my things around. I mean, I was reading The Royal Romance. I tried Endless Summer with Dice. We had Surrender. I had all these romance club books. I have The Cursed Heart. I have first two books of The Royal Heir. I've got Distant Shores, all the nanny affairs.
Oh, that's right. You did. You did all the Nanny affairs back to back to back. I remember
Back
that.
to back to back.
That
7 months
was
of Sam
intense.
Dalton.
Hey, KT, how you doing?
We had Crimes of Passion. You had Crimes of Passion.
Ugh,
We weren't
I
reading
love
those at
that
the same
book.
time, though. You read Crimes of Passion before I did, but then we were
Yeah.
reading The Cursed Heart at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, KT. I don't know. It's so many things. Too many
Yeah.
things.
And then on top of that, well, no, you didn't start doing. No, you did do the romance club books also.
Mm-hmm. I had Romance Club books in there. I had, we did all of Arcanum. We've done Theodora. We've done the first season of Heart of Trespia, Dracula.
I tried when you were reading it. I was just like, I don't know if I really like this.
I don't like
Heart
it.
of
I spend most
Trespia.
of the time complaining about it. Don't worry. We did all of On Thin Ice. I'm surprised we actually got through all of that.
Yes.
I did the Wayhaven Chronicles streams where I was streaming for like 6 hours just because I felt like it. That's
Yeah.
good, you know?
But something is good when you're taking like that much time on it. Like you don't want to stop reading it.
I love
It's
it so
good.
much. I can't wait for book 3 to come out soon.
Oh wow, there's 3 books.
Yeah. There's supposed to be, I think, 7 when she's done with it.
Wow. Okay, so it's a saga.
Mhm.
Not just a trilogy. Okay.
It is a lot. It's yeah. I think it's 7 because I think it's supposed to be one for each of like the cover has seven like phases of the moon on the front. I think one is supposed to be for each book.
Oh, okay.
It'll be like 20 years before it's done, but that's okay.
Worth the wait. Yeah.
It will be. When did we?
Yes.
Did I read that last year or 2 years ago? That was 2021. I'm looking at my list. I have a list of what we've read on my about page, and it's like I don't remember when I did some of these.
I know, and I'm such a slacker. I had like stopped updating what we played. Stop doing that.
I
I'm
have
horrible.
a few things I need to move. I'm still saying we're reading Wake the Dead. We're not reading Wake the Dead anymore.
Yeah, that's me too. It's like, okay, whoops, I need to change stuff. I figure, I got my schedule up, so it kind of works.
Yeah, that's all you need. You don't need to know what you were not reading. That's done.
Yes.
I did Foreign Affairs. I did that. I forgot that was this year. Man, I read a lot of stuff that I don't like. Why did they do
Oh my
that?
gosh.
That's okay.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't. But I know they're
masochism.
But it's fun though. Even though I know that like there's stuff that you don't really dig, you don't just like. You actually are very, in my opinion, you get. It's not malicious when you're saying that you don't like. You actually have like a reason.
I try not to. There was a stretch during. I think it was either in the Royal Air 1 or 2, and I was just like so mad. I was really mean about it for like a hot second, but I don't know. I'm trying to be like constructively critical about things and not just being like, Sam Dalton has the personality of a paper bag. I just don't think it's true.
Oh man, you set some folks off with that. I was like, okay.
What I do. I just stoke controversy. No.
Yes.
I mean, because I know like you stopped reading the Unexpected Heiress because it wasn't keeping your interest, and that's why I schedule breaks in them now. Like I'm determined to get through the rest of the Royal Heir and all of the Royal Finale, which is gonna be really hard for me. But I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I give myself every 4th week off on a lunch break, which I don't usually do.
Yeah. Well, I just wasn't loving that book. It just kind of felt like it was a little slow. I wasn't really understanding what was going on, so yeah, I just like, okay, I can't.
There is a definitive difference between reading it on your own, at your own pace, not having to worry about what characters are doing or sounding like, and then reading it on stream. There are so many times where I'm reading something and I have no idea what I just read. Like the chapter's over and I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I'm too
Yeah.
busy focused on just processing the words and getting them out and less on
Yes.
what's actually going on.
Yeah, which I think for me, it's like, okay, it's been nice to have, say, the Throwback Thursday streams for most of the books that I've already read.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have to, I already know what the story is, so I don't really have to think that hard about it. But the Saturday streams, I'm really sitting there trying to focus on what's going on, because it's like, wait, I've never read this story. I need to know what's happening.
And you get the good reactions when something good happens.
Yes.
Or bad, and you go, "Ooh."
Yeah, or when everybody's already read it and then I finally get to it and it's like, oh, what? Yeah. Yeah. But it was like that with definitely Crimes of Passion, which was my favorite book for the books that like I hadn't read. I said we only did 3: Crimes of Passion, Cursed Heart, and The Phantom Agent. Those were the 3 new books that we had read on Saturday. What's up, King?
Hey, James. Doesn't it feel like you should have had more because you had a whole year and you're like, there are only 3 books?
Yeah. I had to look back because I was like, wait, we only did 3 on Saturdays, and then we did Veil of Secret during Crimes of Passion, and yeah, I looked and it was like, oh shoot. Then there was that break because Crimes of Passion had that break, so I ended up doing the Heist Monaco Thursday and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I was like,
that's
okay.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it better because that means you had 5 on Saturdays,
right.
and I can be okay with that. But like, then I want to know what happened to the rest of the time. Like, where'd you go?
Yeah, and it's like, and I usually will take maybe a week or 2 weeks in between both, in between books. So like right now, of course, we finished both books, so we're not coming back for another 2, until the beginning of February, for that, because I try to make overlays and all that stuff for different books and try to make them look different.
Right?
I it's fun. I don't.
I'm lazy and I just changed the chat background.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that because it works. That's it. But in honor of our discussion, our really heated and hot discussion, I made sure to break my fan out. So I'm prepared for the next time it gets spicy in the chat. I was like, wait, I know I got a fan around here somewhere. I got 2. But no, that was definitely like one of the funniest chat moments of the last year for sure. That was definitely one of the.
Which was
the discussion about the different love interests and everything. And like,
okay. You mean that one day when like everybody was just
like
it got really intense versus...
It was funny. I was cracking up over it. I was.
People expect Kat to just be, so polite, but she's literally there poking buttons, making it worse.
Yeah, it was. I love doing that though, and I don't like. Okay, but it makes for good content. That's what I'm here for.
It does.
Yeah, it's good content. You gotta, that's why I don't always take the diamond scenes when people want me to. I told Loyal that she saved that 30 scene. She saved it because I wasn't going to do it. I was just about to skip it, and then she spent the points for the voice swap. And I was like, oh, I can't now. I gotta do it.
The final Dirty 30 or the one in the throne room?
That
or
one too.
In Phantom Agent.
The one in Phantom Agent. Yeah.
People like to throw the voice swap on those sex scenes.
Which is funny because it's like, wait a minute. It's like, you don't want the actual man to do the man part? Like, wait a minute. Huh? You want me to do it? Okay.
I'm
No.
sure some people would prefer it, but they didn't, you know, you don't
Yeah.
have the option to not do a voice swap for channel points.
Yes.
Veto voice swap, twice the amount of points.
Oh my gosh. Oh, now I'm gonna have to do that. It's like, okay, so it's like, do I hear a no, we're not doing that? Do I hear that? And I'm sure Jingo will be like, okay, spend those points because I'm not doing that.
He can spend his own points if he wants. He's got them. He's sitting there.
Oh yeah. So funny. Oh man, and actually, I'm so glad my camera wasn't on for that day. I was just like, oh my god. When I was just kind of feeling my inner Agent Gray on that one. I thought that was great. I cracked myself up. I won't even get into it, but yeah, I cracked myself up.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those after I finally read it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how y'all play it.
Oh, I don't know if we're gonna stream it. I don't know.
Are you not? Oh, y'all not streaming that, huh?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't decided. Who knows? I don't pick what's going on Wednesdays. I let other people pick. Other people being Twitter polls and Nate. He can decide.
Yeah. I was I was very surprised. It's like, okay, now I learned on make sure the poll requires an email address. One vote. Because man, my email blew up with all those votes for Distant Shores. It was like, wow, everybody likes this book, huh? And I looked and it was like about almost 100 people had voted for it. It was like 98 votes or something for Distant Shores.
I voted for Big Sky Country.
I voted for Big Sky Country. That was the book Jingo wanted to do, Big Sky Country. So, but he was cool with Distant Shores too. He loves pirates. But I was just like, wow, 98 people voted for this. 98 people don't even watch this stream. Like what? Like who did this? But yeah, so that was funny. It was funny. I learned a lesson on the poll thing, but but it was my first time ever creating my own poll, and stuff. So, all right.
It was a good idea to use the Google one though, because then people who aren't on Twitter can access it. And...
Yeah, and I put it everywhere. It's surprising. Like I didn't put it on Facebook. I put the link on Instagram. Everywhere. So people could see it if they really want to vote on it. And I'd actually got some DMs from people on Instagram. They're like, "Oh, you should read this," and I was like, "Wait, have I seen?" Like I don't mind you messaging me. I was just surprised. Like, wow, okay, cool. It resonated with people. Glad. That's the whole point. So what is the book that that one book that you really loved streaming? I mean, I know you loved Wayhaven.
Yeah. Honestly, it's as much as I enjoyed the choicest things. I think the one I had the most fun with was Theodora. On Romance Club.
That's a good book. Because you recommended it, I started reading it. It's really good.
It's really good, and so not knowing what was happening, like I would try to do it as quickly as I could. I was doing it like just one chapter a week, and then some people who are not here, and I will call out right now, couldn't not talk about it, and I was like, it doesn't make it easy for me when you're sitting there asking other people what they thought of things, and you might be vague, but I can't read it yet. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to read it when it comes out as quickly as I can, so I don't have a walkthrough half the time. But the story for that one is just so interesting, and it's so emotional. God, getting through the end of season 1 really killed me, and not just because, as KT witnessed, I accidentally took a what was leading to an intimate scene with a person who was not my ally, and I panicked and had to restart the chapter.
It's like, no, not you.
I thought it was a platonic option, and then all of a sudden she's flirting with him, and I'm like, what the hell is this? No.
How did we get here?
It was horrifying. I freaked out. And I was like, no. I had to tap back through the half of it. And then I ended up like crying like 20 minutes later because all of a sudden horrible things were happening. And I was like, why is this stream so terrible? Probably that one, if overall. And then I really liked doing like Crimes of Passion because that was the one that like Nate first joined me on, where he had like a lot of fun with it because he didn't like the cursed heart. And so for choices it was no. For choices, the most fun was streaming Wake the Dead with dice.
Yeah, I watched I watched a few of those, and I was like, wow, that's real cool. I like it.
It is chaos.
I love when you do those, though. I just think it was such a clever idea, you know. And it just like now this is random chance. I didn't pick it. Didn't pick it, you know. You know.
I
like,
spent so many 30 diamond scenes and then didn't do anything with anybody in it. Like I swear. Just like taking the scene. Are we gonna sleep with them? Nope. Well, there went my money. I mean, it's fun. I think it works for some books. It doesn't work for all books. I'm looking forward to doing Blades 2 with it eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure. I had asked Bingo if he wanted to do Blades, and he said that like if he was going to stream choices on his channel, Blades would be what he would play, so he don't want to do it. I was like, okay, fine. That's fine. That's fair. No, it doesn't seem like a me kind of book. You're right. I will read it at some point.
It's okay. It's not for everybody. Nothing is for everybody. There isn't a book that every single person likes.
Yes.
That's fine.
What's up, Lex? Yes, and that's true. You know, that's why I tell people like, you know, there's something for everyone in that app.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to find what that is. To find what that one is for you. Seeing some of the commentary, especially for this book that, I mean, it hasn't even come out yet. Like, wow, y'all gotta calm down.
My God.
Really, you know, I'm
the
looking
things
forward
that we're
to it.
hearing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's like what?
Subreddit.
You know.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna look at, you know, when I could bring Kat Naris on just to talk about the Reddit and the struggles of being a moderator in there. Oh,
Lord.
I can imagine. I can only imagine. You know, at least
Definitely.
You know, my Discord is curated. I know who's coming in here. You know, I know what's about to happen. So, all the juicy gossip. There she is. Yeah, you know, good on y'all that they're dealing with the Reddit. For real. You're doing a job I can't do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Not nicely, I can't.
No.
I really can't. It's like, wait, are you serious?
I would run out of tact so fast. Get out, get out.
Ban immediately. It's like, no, there's no explanation for this. Get out. That would be me. Oh, like, nope. Sorry. Bye. Oh, man. Oh, I know you do, Tito. Oh, my friend Tito is in the chat. He's one of our moderators and stuff. He's like, I love banning people. Yeah. And he won't even ask me. It's like, if he remotely sees I'm being annoyed, ban. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I took care of it. Like, oh, okay. Thanks.
If I could be that free with the ban hammer, it would be a lot easier. But
yeah.
No, there's like rules and protocols.
This is why we have a team. Otherwise, it's the ban hammer time. Oh, I know it. I bet. Oh, thank you, Tito. You know I appreciate it. Um, how has it been adding Nate to your? Is I mean, you and I both weren't streaming with a partner initially, so it's like, how's that been? Adding him to the streams. Has he, maybe thought about streaming on his own channel? Has he done that yet?
Well, before I do that, I want to backtrack a little bit. Did we discuss what your favorite stream was? Was it Crimes of
Oh,
Passion?
my favorite one was Crimes of Passion. Jingo's Don Carnage Tristan can't be beat. I laughed so hard. I enjoyed the Phantom Agent. I enjoyed the story. I liked it. But I like Crimes of Passion more.
Yeah.
I just love the chemistry between Tristan and the MC. To me, that was easily the best book that I read last year for the new stuff, for the new content.
I think of the new stuff, it was my favorite too.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it just kind of seemed like that was the general consensus that like a lot of people loved Crimes of Passion.
Yeah, and I think they might have been a little surprised by that. Maybe not. I don't know, but it just seemed maybe like it was a little bit unexpected, perhaps that they were going to be able to actually have a successful thing. Because who knows these days what's going to be successful and what's not. And I'm glad that they were able to have it planned out where they could immediately say that one was getting a second book, and we didn't have the Immortal Desires stuff going on.
Yeah, because by the time we got to it, I was like, I know there has to be a second. There has to be. There's got to be. And then shortly after they were like, oh yeah, we're doing it. And like, yes. Oh,
there's so much left to tell on both parts of this. Like both of them, both the main characters being Tristan and the MC, they have a lot of unresolved plot that needs to be fixed.
Big time, a lot. Yeah, Lex's Crimes of Passion was really fun. Like the murder mystery and the banter was everything. Facts. Yeah. I loved it. That was great. And
it's
the look on my face when the twist happened, it was just like, what? Wait, who? Yeah, I had to make that a gif because I thought that was just so funny. It was like, okay, but then my jaw just like dropped, and it was super cool because we had Rachel, the head writer, was in the chat that night, and she's like, I was waiting on that. I was like, oh. I was like, you got me on that one because I did not expect that at all. Yeah, you knew, like, you could see my gears grinding, and then when it happened, it was just like, oh no.
The exclamation point over the head.
Yeah, the light bulb exploded big time. It was like, what? Yeah, because I didn't see that a mile away. Nope, didn't.
No, it was well done, where it wasn't one of those ones where you're like, oh, it's gonna be this person and I'm gonna see it from the first time they come on screen, and then when the revelation is made, you're kind of like, wait, does that even make sense? And then you think about it a little bit, you go, it really does. It absolutely does. And so it was very well hidden, I'm gonna say. Just the way they put out so many red herrings and leading you down the obvious paths, and you just completely forgot that was even an option. I think most people. And then there you go, boom. Hey, hi, remember me? I'm here.
Yeah, because nope, I did not see it. I did not see it. Oh yeah, when I said, oh yes. It was. Yeah. Because I had written down who I thought it was, and I showed it. I showed my notepad on the stream, and I was just like, I'm so sorry, because I felt so bad about pointing the finger at this particular character, And
who did you think it was?
At first, I was thinking Luke, and I was way off. I was, and then it was, and I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry, Luke. You didn't deserve that.
because he has a shady past does not mean he has a shady future.
That's true. That's true. I
But you know
shouldn't have
what
done
though?
that.
If it had been, that would have been an even bigger like, excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Will I say what now? You know, was not expected. You know.
I thought we were friends.
Yes.
I want one.
Avalana.
I need more of those things.
Yeah.
Those twists where Pixelberry bites the bullet and has somebody that we think is friendly not be.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like that we get close to. Like really
Yeah.
do it. Just do it. Just do it. Make it an ally. Do it. And I don't mean Aaron. Semi-spoiler. You've probably seen it already. It been out for 4 years almost.
Yeah.
3 years. Or
Yeah.
what you're gonna be reading next on Thursday. I don't mean the one in that either. I mean like somebody from day one and set them up. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see that. Avalana, thank you for the invasion. You know I love a good invasion. After all, I am a Martian.
Right.
Thank you for that. What's up, Turkey? It's going good. We're talking about just, you know, our favorite streams and stuff from the last year, and you know, just and feel free to ask questions or comment, y'all. Feel free to do that. So, you know, it kind of gives us a little something extra to talk about in the middle of all this because I did not come prepared. I'm sorry.
we didn't talk about it beforehand.
Yeah, but you know, I kind of feel like you know, even though I didn't have anything prepared, he's like you and I are able to talk, so it, it works.
We don't need like directions. It's fine.
Okay, to
I
go off the
apologize if
rails.
anybody can hear the jingling. I have a cat in my.
Oh, you got it. Yes. Let's see. Oh, okay. I got you. I got you on some bad jokes.
Uh-oh.
It's funny because the whole book, The Killer and Crimes of Passion, is kind of around, but they don't like focus too much on them until the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love, you know, just I mean, it's like we kind of had that a little bit in Agent, but yeah, it's like, you know, I would like it to, you know, be that, haha, it's the best friend, you know.
Yeah.
It just totally
Go
be
for it.
backstabbing. Yeah, you know.
Go for it. Just do it.
Yeah, it's like in the nanny affair, it should have been Jenny giving all the tips to the press, you know?
Yes. Jenny's the worst anyway.
It should have been her. I mean, I didn't
know.
finish that one. You know, that was one thing. Spoilers really kind of stopped me from reading. I was all for. I was all in on TNA. I wanted to read it so bad, and then spoilers happened. I was like, okay, nope, I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting. That's okay. I'm not reading it. Not because I didn't like it, because everybody was telling all the business. So like, okay, I'll have to wait.
It was kind of. It was. I mean, I muted a lot of people. And you know, I'm not the biggest TNA fan. It's in one of those ones where I enjoy it for how ridiculous it is. And you know, for the content of those dirty scenes, because it's got some good stuff in there, and sometimes that's all I want. But I was still muting people for spoiling things because I just like there was so much to spoil because it's all so crazy.
Yeah, it was. That was kind of wild. I was like, wait, what happened? What happened to her? You know? Yeah, that was interesting. I will at some point get back to it. I think I stopped at like chapter or something like that.
Oh, you have so much to get through.
Yeah, I got a lot. Avalana says, I love a good twist in the story. Me too. Let's see. Lex says the banter carried the whole the banter. The whole book is what carried Crimes of Passion. Yeah, it did. Oh, you got spoiled for The Killer and Murder and Homecoming? Yeah, I haven't even looked at that. Yeah. What's up, Allie?
Do you need to leave, sir? What do you want? I will be right back. I'm going to let the cat out.
Yeah, no problem. Give me time to find this joke. So, everybody, what was your favorite book last year. You can, talk about, what your favorite books was that, either of us streamed or the favorite one that you read. I'd like to know. Let me know.
Cat's looking for a joke. Speaking of people
Yes.
spoiling things, Elon Musk is spoiling things for me now because people who show up on my For You page on Twitter, which now is what it defaults to, includes people I've muted. And it's like,
Oh, no.
why would you do that to me?
I know. And I was like, pretty open when I explained. It's like, if you notice that I haven't been engaging with your content lately, it's because you're probably mute. Because I don't like you. I did not
If
follow.
I didn't like you, we'd unfollow.
Yeah, it's like I didn't unfollow.
Or block.
Yeah.
Any choices, lady?
What did Bacon say to Tomato, since Turkey Bacon asked for the joke? Let us get together. Chico just groaned across the room. You know it's good, Dan. Uh-oh, Fishty passed out on me.
No, it's not the worst one you've done.
Oh, I've done some bad jokes.
My favorite bad jokes are the ones where you read them and then you go,
Yeah.
Like they're even too bad for you.
Yeah.
Like, once I said it, I knew it wasn't good.
Yeah, it's like I think it was a couple of weeks ago that I said one and it was like, oh, that was horrible. Like, oh man, that was really bad. So yeah, so sometimes I know they're bad,
And then I still remember the one that I don't even like Star Wars, and I think I mentioned this last year, and it was the Vader tots, what they said at the cantina, and I don't know why Vader tots just cracks me up.
Oh yeah, I have the clip of me telling that joke. Yeah. Let's see. Lex said her favorites were Crimes of Passion, Cursed Heart, Immortal Desires, and then at the end was Laws of Attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Choices Lady said COP. Yeah, see, most people brought COP in on there. Yep. Yeah, it looks like everybody did. But yeah, that one was a hit, like big time. I loved it.
I think it's got potential in the second book too. Like it's not one of the ones where I'm going to be like, what are they even going to do?
Yeah, because we kind of have. I mean, obviously we don't know like exactly how it's going to go down, but we know, going back to Dracovia, there's some stuff there. We got to figure out what's going on with Tristan's part of it. We also have stuff that deals with the MC and her father's death. So
are they connected?
Oh! Well, if it is, we might catch it. That's happened. I'm still not done with Queen Bee 2 because we called it back before anything, when people were talking about it, and I was like,
we did.
Oh, wait, such and such. Did we even know what she looked like? and then he's like, and you and I both kind of had, oh, it's probably her.
Yeah. I guessed that before it even released when I was on one of Eric's podcasts. It was a part that he cut out, but it was like with the emojis. And I was like, oh, no, we had just met them. I think it had just happened. We were talking about it. And I was like, it's going to be this person. Like it's chapter 2 and I know it's going to be this person. It just seems too obvious. But at the same time, they were trying to throw us off the track. But I was like, I don't trust this person.
Yes.
But it's okay. I mean, that part I thought was actually, even though I knew, I still enjoyed that aspect of that book.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like the voting part because that just felt the same. But
yeah,
but the intrigue underneath it was interesting.
A lot of folks liked the Cursed Heart. Well, I liked the Cursed Heart for the most part. I thought it was cool. The MC was driving me crazy though. Not gonna front.
I think the Cursed Heart is very pretty, and I love Leaf and the Fae Fire, and that is all I will say about it, because I don't want to upset people when I'm not in.
I had to move us. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. The vote. Yeah, we talked about the voting, and I'm sorry I cut you off in the middle of it. I'm sorry.
Of the Cursed Heart stuff?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. All I said was that it was pretty, and I liked Leaf and the Fae Fire, and I'm gonna stop there because I upset people with my opinions of it, and that's okay. I mean, I think part of it was that I went into it, I think, maybe more informed than the average person, or the average choices reader on like Fae stuff. So a lot of it was really obvious to me, which is fine, because I was talking about it with Allie. It was like, even though I knew who was going to end up being behind it all, I still thought they did a good job with the build up and the actual reveal at the end. But the main character being who they are drove me nuts. And then I was really disappointed that warning at the beginning of the book did not come to fruition.
Yeah, I was a little hurt because, well, you know, we all kind of talked about this behind the scenes. I was like, okay, I was expecting it to get a little bit deep, and it didn't happen. Like, ah.
So I've got some basic issues. Like, okay, so I'm gonna try to be nice about this. I just said I wasn't gonna talk about it, then here I am. The relationship between Kieran and the main character. For me, I do not think it's well constructed as far as like a believable romance once the main plot point is resolved. I don't see why there's any sort of connection because they don't talk to each other. They have nothing in common. And everything before that is like that pull. And then once that's severed, what's the point? And to me, I'm like, I don't get it. So the whole thing was like, what is the point of this? But we'll see. I'm actually kind of interested in book 2 because I think what they ended it with sounds pretty intriguing. And I think once we've got, like, now that the world is established and we can get more into like the plot and exploring more of the world, I think it'll be okay. But we'll see.
Yeah, I liked that too. No, I didn't mute her. I didn't mute her on purpose. We ended up moving to another room. So, let's see here. MC was not the brightest bear in the woods. No, she was not.
No.
I talked about that while we were streaming it. It was like, girl, you're telling
not
too
talk
much.
about
Stop. You're talking too much. Yeah.
And I think there could have been ways where they could have made it so that we had the opportunity to sort of reveal stuff, but I got really annoyed that they were just like, nope, your person's gonna be dumb and they're gonna spill everything right now.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have any choice, any opportunity to be like, please stop. Please. Just stop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lex reminded me also for Crimes of Passion, the last scene in the first book. Yes, there's a lot of unresolved everything there. Lex says she liked Queen Bee for the unhinged book that it is. I'm still working through it. I think I'm almost done with Queen Bee. I'm really trying to get through those books that everybody else had already read. I'm really trying to get through it. Do the Phantom Agent and Guinevere count as 2022 books? Yes, they do.
I think the Phantom Agent for sure. Guinevere, probably, because I don't think it's, well, how many chapters are going to be released? Guinevere's kind of weird. Like, I'm always trying to figure out, when is it a 2022? When is it a 2023? And I figure whichever year has the most chapters in it.
So that I would say Phantom Agent would be a 22 book.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I would say Guinevere is a 23 book. That's what I think.
I think Guinevere might be this weird one that kind of like splits. But so, fine. If it splits it, then yeah, it's both 2022 and 2023.
It works. So if it's your favorite book, it can be your favorite book for last year and this year. Let's go with that.
Why not?
James says, never trust a person that's too nice. This is why you should never trust me to do the 30-30 thing. I'm way too nice. You know that. Don't trust me.
The main rule about dealing with the Fae is just to not trust them. Period.
Like, never trust the Fae.
So that was okay. So like the main character, the underlying thing we've talked about how like they made some action, they made some actions, they did some things every day of their lives that were just like, why are you this way? What? Someone somewhere, I think it was on the wiki, was saying that, you know, toward the end was when they got really dumb. And I was like, they grew up next to that forest. They were told not to go in there. They knew what was
Yes.
in there. They were told the tales of the things. Like in an era where fairy tales were meant to be warnings and they weren't just stories, they were supposed to impart some sort of additional information. And this main character just went, I don't care. I like those herbs. And went over there all the time. I'm so mad about it. Still.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Ah, let's see. Oh, Turkey says, I haven't read The Curse of Heart just because I didn't really get into it. Does look interesting though. Yeah, I can understand. I would say it's not a book for everybody. It really is. Really, that's not that's not a general audience's book. You know,
It
not
might be
because
one
of
of
the
those.
scenes, but
No, it might be one of those ones where the second book is actually better than the first,
mhm.
and I would be okay with that
Yeah.
because I wanted it to be good. I really went into it like excited about it because I love Fae, I love dark fantasy. I was like, hell yeah, sign me up for that warning in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, that Cat Neris just said that too. Said the warning in TCH did not deliver, and I wanted it to. Yeah,
Oh
me too.
God, it hurt so much.
Yeah, it's like if you're on my fandom Instagram and you saw the stickers that I just bought, that's kind of where that's my head. That's my head space for that kind of stuff.
I defended that warning because people were like, it's gonna be like wolf bread. I'm like, let me tell you why
No,
it's not.
no.
And then the book gave me nothing. I was like, why am I not getting tied down with vines? Do it.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that was I honestly that was a lot of us because I mean I know it wasn't just you and and obviously Cat Neris. You know, there was a few other people that were like, this isn't dark enough.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Allie and I, like every time she was like, can I tell you something? I'm like, I'm not reading it yet. She's like, can I just complain for a minute about why it's not doing what they said? I took this thing and it was better when I didn't take the fire. And why was it better outside of the fire?
Yes. Hey, Fuzzy. Oh wow.
You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like a lot of folks in the chat are really mirroring our sentiments on it.
If you're gonna
Yeah.
tell me that I'm gonna get that and that it's gonna be optional, which is an excellent thing to do because then the people who don't want it
Yes.
don't have to take it. You gotta put it in there for those of us who were like, heck yeah, I
Yeah.
want to take those. And we
Yeah.
got nothing. And I was so sad.
The Lex says, I get what you mean, Fishty, but I feel like for me it was the little moments between MC and Kieran is what made them connect. But I like that they were complete opposites. I don't know. I just feel it was a lot of him kind of ordering her about and not really getting to know her as a person.
When the main character dropped the was like, oh my God, I love them. I was like, why? Why? You've
Yeah.
had 2 conversations with them outside of, oh, now I own you, and having them do these, like, just bossing you around and you being mad about it. Like, I don't understand. And Allie tried to convince me that the raven feeding scene was going to be and I was like, it was just filler. I didn't feel like that's one moment, one little thing. And then they made
Yeah.
food. I
Yeah.
made him cry by cutting the onions, which was my favorite thing that I have ever done. And I just wish there had been more build up to it. And I think what Lex said here is that they focus more on the world building and forgot about the content warning. I think they also kind of forgot a little bit about the relationship building because they focused so much on those storybooks, which weren't bad. Like they were neat.
I
You got to
love
see these other
those.
things and you collected them and you got to find out about the other parts of the world. But then at the same time, that drove so much of what we were reading that Kieran and I almost just straight up just called her Macaulay because I named them after the Culkin siblings. That Kieran and the MC, like their relationship just went by the wayside, and you kind of had to make it up.
Yeah.
And if you like it, that's great. I'm all for it. But for me, it doesn't. I'm just like, why? Why do you care about this person? Yeah. You only care about them because of that thing that's happening that I don't want to say because it's a spoiler, but you know, the whole reason why we're doing this book.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was really how I felt about it as well. You know, I overall liked it. I love the storybook parts. I love the characters. You know, our knight. You know, Sir Monty was great, and our bear mama.
Longclaw.
I love her. And actually, I was a little like, I mean, I understood why she, you know, why things happened the way they happened. I won't get into that, but it was just like, but I want to know. Yeah. I loved her though. I thought she was so great. Oh, let's see. Hallie says this is why she trusts you. You're never nice.
Leaf does call Karen ugly, and it cracked me up.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I think the next book should be able to show more of their connection, because you don't have to establish as much of the world anymore.
Yeah,
You've already got that going, and then
welcome back, Nia.
we can really focus on this new, you know, because we have the sun and the moon, and now we have the eclipse.
Yeah,
And we can focus on this and how that's going to bring them together, because I mean, I guess what you're supposed to think is like it's the dreams, but like why were they having the dreams? I mean, they're having the dreams because of the thing
right.
that I'm still not trying to say.
Yeah, exactly.
In case
Yeah.
someone hasn't read it, and I'm not
Yeah.
Eric.
Now, I mean, for the really old books, okay, you know, I'm kind of like,
Did it come out in 2020 or earlier? Okay, I'm sorry. You're gonna get spoilers.
Yeah, but stuff in the last year, I'll try not to. I'll really try not to. The dream thing weirded you out? Really? I liked it. You know, but no, I was kind of hoping for more, and I'm actually hoping that we get a little bit more this next book. You know, so we'll see what happens with that. Where else we're at? Ken says, I stopped questioning bad decisions made by fictional characters after seeing how people have acted for the past 3 years with the pandemic. Woo! Yep.
Fair points.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. Turkey says, I read the first 2 chapters of Guinevere, and Lancelot is very pretty, but Artura is just like, ah! I love Arthur. I'm all in.
I'm going to make a statement here that might be a little bit of a hot take.
Oh, please do. Wait, let me get my fan.
No, it's not like that. Just a little bit of one. It's okay. Like, I don't think there's much of a difference between Arthur and Lancelot.
Really?
I think the big difference is that Arthur is allowed to express their emotions and Lancelot is not. But once you get beyond that, they basically are the same.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I'm a little bit
they're both very chivalrous. Yes.
Oh. And yeah. That's it.
I know. I don't know. Like, oh no, the Liam treatment. And what's Nia came back, so what's up, Nia?
No, Arthur is it's not like that. It's not like when all of the allies all of a sudden become vague Liam clones. It's just, I don't think that when you get underneath it that they really feel like different characters. But maybe it's just because I haven't gone back through and really read strictly for one character or the other. I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. See, everyone knows Ride or Die ends in or die at this point. Yes, it may.
Bye, Turkey.
I think I caught up on everybody's stuff. Oh, poor choices, lady. I know. I know. I remember when, you know, they had said, you know, hey, Ride or Die 2's coming, and then they canceled it, and poor choices, lady was like, no. I'm so sorry. The Liam treatment should be a book. Yeah. Cat says, "I must be queen." I think that's kind of where a lot of people are with it. I don't know. I just like the way Arthur is, and I get it, you know. And I actually I like Lancelot too. You know, I took a few of the Lancelot scenes.
So
Hmm?
Lancelot on paper is definitely more the Li I normally go for.
Mhm.
But then I don't like the way that Guinevere behaves in the earlier scenes with Lancelot
Oh,
because she has no boundaries. And so I would have liked it better if with Arthur you had this much more open, like they're going to get married in a week, you know, they could be more open with one another. But then if with Lancelot and Guinevere they had both tried not to give in to
hmm,
any feelings that were, but instead it's just Guinevere like, hey, you should kiss me, and Lancelot's like, but I can't.
yeah,
No, you really should. You should do it. You should do it. You should do it. You should kiss me.
yeah, yeah. It was like, Guinevere definitely was pursuing Lancelot big time. Like,
Which is not anything necessarily wrong, but like you're just totally ignoring the fact that this poor person is desperately trying to hold on to this thing that makes them who they are,
yeah,
and you're just going,
throw that
can
out the
we
window for me.
can we sleep in the same bedroll? 'Cause I don't want to go, you know, like it's just I would have liked that a little differently. And then I think it also would have separated them a little bit more because she doesn't act any differently with Lancelot than she does with Arthur. Like that scene where you can first hook up with Arthur.
Yeah,
She's the same way when she, you know, just the night before when she was with Lancelot. Like it's
yeah.
I would have liked some it would have helped separate the characters a little bit more if she treated them differently.
Yeah, it
I
would be
think.
like, you know, yeah, like she could see that Lancelot was interested, but you know, also be trying to keep arm's length. Like, okay, oh, I'm
Yeah,
attracted,
she's
but
engaged.
yeah,
And then you find yourself in situations where you almost break and then you don't. And then
hmm,
give me more emotional edging. I need more Gabe Ricci in this, you know? Slow burn the crap out of this. And it would have
yes,
been
I agree. On the Lancelot side of it, definitely a little bit more. It's
and
definitely
just
written with the triangle in mind. There's no subtlety in the interaction.
so it just but you know, I don't dislike it overall.
Yeah.
And Arthur has been a pleasant surprise because I expected not to like him because he's so much on the surface he seems so much like characters that I don't prefer, but he's actually been quite nice. I quite enjoy that.
Hey man, you trolling. Gabe Ritchie was in Slow Burn? No. Okay. Actually, let's talk about Slow Burn since we're talking about that.
Do we have to?
just real quick. I'm gonna kind of, you know, I liked Slow Burn. Did not love the chef. Did not love the chef at all. And I know a lot of people loved Everett Yvette. I totally didn't. I was all for our other Li, Julian. Yeah.
Julian.
Yeah. And I had a male MC, you know. So it's like anytime he had a chance to like sass Yvette, because I made Everett Yvette, and then I had Julian for my male MC. You know, it was just like,
Which Yvette did you have?
The black Yvette.
Yes.
And because she was. I thought she was
so
the hottest
pretty.
one. Yeah.
She's so pretty. But she's
What?
such a bitch.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, you are rude. Like, that was what stopped me in the first place. Because when I first played it, I made a film. I had a female NC, and I had I picked the white male Everett, and I still picked the same Julian, and I could not get past the temper tantrum that was being thrown in the kitchen. I was like, nope. I can't. That's why I stopped at the first chapter. Like, I can't do this. Nope. I'm not doing it. You know, like you got an attitude, and normally I like an attitude.
There's the whole Gordon Ramsay thing, but the reason Gordon Ramsay gets upset because people are doing things stupidly.
Yes.
They are doing things poorly. They are not making the right decisions. Flint just gets mad.
Yeah.
Because Flint is a toddler in a 29-year-old's body or whatever. Like,
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't feeling Flint's attitude. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'm gonna step back on this book. But I got pulled back in. Lady K was like, you have to read it. You have to read it. You try it again. And I was like, okay, I'll try it again. And I did like it. But 100% Team Julian on that one. 100%.
I didn't take any romantic scenes with Flint, and then yet there was one moment where I swear it was toward the end. Was it they're in a car? Are they in a drive-through? I don't know where they at. Drive-in? Drive-through. They're in a drive-through. They're getting fries. And there was something where it was like, why is this in here if I haven't taken any romantic scenes with them? Because it felt very much like I was supposed to be with them, and I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I like them.
This is Cad. We have to talk. Wait, are you gonna try to talk me into liking Flint? Because that's not happening. I don't like Flint. No, I don't like Flint. Oh, he's like, I just don't want to date Gordon Ramsay. Fair. What's up, Loyal?
News buttons.
I just need 1 second. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back.
I feel like seeing if anybody can still hear me.
Yes, they can. I can hear you too.
Oh.
Sorry, our daughters were leaving, so that's why I was like, okay, let me say goodbye real quick. There we go. Yeah, they were over here kind of, watching and stuff while we were talking at the beginning. So I was like, wait, what? What's going on? Oh, they're leaving. Hold on.
Oh dear.
You definitely need
Now
to
I shall have to create more Martians.
Oh, thanks, MA.
Thanks, MA. Look at all the hearts. Thank you.
I have a new subscription badge. What? Sure.
Nia's like, yes, spicy Flint. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. No. I wanted to like the chef. I did. I wanted to, because that's all I kept hearing was, oh, Everett. And I'm like,
nah, I don't need to romance somebody who acts like a child.
now if it had been just, difficult or something, okay, and that's gonna lead me to where I'm going next with that. But the difficult MC, normally I'm down with the attitude, and all that stuff. But he was just she was just mean, just to be mean, and I didn't like it.
I'm not trying to fix you. I'm too busy fixing these restaurants. Goodbye.
Yeah. Like,
Fixing
okay.
restaurants and stealing people's recipes and passing them off as my own.
Yes. Like, oh, come on.
Oh, that scene at the end. I heard that scene was good. The hookup in the kitchen, but it is in the kitchen, so
yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't like Chef. Didn't like it. And nope. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna like the Chef if I try to read the book again either. I'm gonna be put off by how nasty they were that first time,
Yes.
I just can't. Salty, a little salty, I can live with that. Kieran was a little salty, and I was okay with it. But just mean, just to be mean, nah, thanks. Don't want it. Want no part. Let's see. Laura says, I didn't want to miss the stream, so he did 1 chapter instead of 3. He felt so bad. Oh, no. There's always another stream. Always. I will say that.
That's a good point, I guess, Cat Neris.
And Will's gonna hook up in the kitchen, not have to worry about the consequences. MA did not like Kieran.
Okay.
You can follow Loyal Huff, who has started streaming Choices books right there. Just click on the heart. It'll automatically let you follow her. Yeah, so anybody in the chat, any of the names that you see in here, that's basically your Twitch. That's your Twitch handle. So if you were like, if Lex wanted to start streaming, Big Lex 223 is her channel. You know what I mean? That's just kind of a tip. I was realizing that Cass doesn't ask for consent at all. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. That you know, of course, I liked Immortal Desires. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. But then, what did Murder at Homecoming come out after Immortal Desires? I think it came out.
So?
Yeah. Okay, it did. Okay, that's what I thought. It did. Okay, everybody says yes, yes, yes. Like, okay. And by that point, your favorite Martian had exhausted her quota of playing high school character. Nope, don't want to play. That's why I skipped Murder at Home.
Oh. I hear really mixed things about Murder at Homecoming, so I haven't read it yet myself.
Yeah, I haven't. I made the main character. I made the MC. Are you laughing at me, MA, because I just said that? I have a quota. I can only play one high school character a year, and that's it. We're done. You have yet to start Murder at Homecoming? Oh, Nia's like, nope, I'm not feeling it. Cass always just assumes. I'm Team Gabe on that one. I really liked Gabe. At first, I thought, you know, the dark, broody vampire was going to be my type, but I just felt like Cass was just kind of rude.
Cass is psychotic.
Cass is kind of nuts. Yeah. You know, it does feel a bit weird at times being middle-aged and playing YA romances. Yes. And I'm not middle-aged.
I want to talk about how one of my favorite LIs is a 16-year-old boy. It hurts me. I don't put him on my flare. I don't list him anywhere because I am not 16 and it is illegal. But oh my god, Michael is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm Team Gabe myself. Go ahead and rep your teams in the chat, y'all. Go ahead. That's cool. Calling the authorities on you, Fishty. Choices Lady says, I mean, I hate it, and the MC in Murder at Homecoming is 17. Wanted to read it, but after that, nah.
Really, only if you include yourself when you call the cops on me, because I have receipts.
Oh my gosh.
Michael's holding my hand. Those are the messages I have from Allie.
Oh, you got called out. You got called out. Let's see, I wish the LIs in Immortal Desires were the Coven leaders and Daddy Supreme. Oh. I know. And we saw our the Coven leader with that ascot. I was like, yes. I thought he was hot. I was so hurt. And Astoria, she's gorgeous. Like, ooh. And then it was like, oh wait, you're a high school student. Nope, can't be them. Can't be them.
18's kind of like, you know, it's like a cutoff there, Choices Lady. At least Logan is legal. Michael's still in high school.
Yeah, there's that. I kept calling him Dr. Jackass. Oh my god, Loyal. Gabe Ricci is probably like 35, so like, oh yeah.
That's okay. I've been 35.
Michael seems to be a popular choice. I've heard a lot about that character. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just I couldn't. I'm like, sorry if it's immature, but I don't care. That's all right. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with giving folks nicknames. I do that too. So I think there's a good amount of us here. A lot of folks that were here for that conversation that we had during the Royal Masquerade.
Mm.
And I think it's time. I think we've come to that point in the stream where we're going to talk about the Royal Masquerade.
All right.
And then
Where do
Acor
we
after,
begin?
because I got a lot of grief for that too.
What was that?
I got a lot of grief for Acor too.
Because of Snooze Fest. I'm sorry, Syfax.
I didn't love sci-fi. That's not what we're talking about right
look,
now.
Look, and you were just, you just gave your audience what they asked for.
I did.
I
wanted Mark
your
Antony.
audience is gonna be wrong, but
Oh dear. Now I shall
wanted
have to
Mark
create
Antony.
more Martians.
Thanks, Nia, for continuing to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it much. Thank you.
wet napkin. Is that how you're describing Syfax there, Brown Eyed Beauty?
Well. Also, Immortal Desires didn't even feel like a high school book. I agree with that.
Yeah, it didn't really focus a lot on the high school aspect, and it was more like it did better at. Yeah, sure, you were 18, but that wasn't what was the point. The point was that you were gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would have been more down with Murder at Homecoming had it been like Homecoming at college. You know, that'd have been me. I would have actually been more hyped to play it, but I'll get to it. Okay, so the Royal Masquerade. Fishty, it's all yours. It's your time.
All right, I've been thinking about this for a few weeks now, trying to figure out, like, what do I focus on? Do I just talk about why Kaden is better than Hunter, or do I go into like the extended symbolism in the book and like what the love interests represent for the main character, or how the main character affects the love interests over the course of the story? Or do I just talk about, in general things like what the characters are like, and maybe that might change impressions that some people, namely Jingo, had about how they are.
Did you hear that, Jingo? He didn't have his earbud in. Okay, you might want to listen.
Was there anything, like, just so I can have a starting point? Was there anything that anybody wanted to know? Because I can tell you.
Yeah. Accidentally picked Hunter.
Accidentally picked Hunter. Okay, look.
And I explained why I picked Hunter. I told y'all why I picked Hunter. I told you. Because everybody was like Team Caden all the way, and I'm like, gotta go the other way.
Nah, see, you're just denying yourself the how do I put this?
Don't leave, Lex. Don't leave me alone.
So okay.
I'm kidding.
So Hunter is the way Hunter is constantly. Like, what you see on Hunter's route, or even off of Hunter's route, Hunter is Hunter the whole time.
That's true. He doesn't change. Does
not change over the course of the book. There's that one little moment where people were saying I was dragging him, and I'm really not. It's just the one point where the character's story and arc starts to change, and it's a limitation of there being only one book. But Hunter is the same whether you're romancing them or not. they still have that same personality. When you take Caden's route, you get an entirely different Caden.
Yeah.
You get all sorts of different aspects of that character. What you get from Hunter is just more floury cheese. Is how I'm going to describe their
Floury
route.
cheese, I love it. I love it.
And Caden's thing is, and I was trying to come up with the best way to describe this, and I don't know if I'm actually, you know what? I'm sure Caden romancers will agree. As we all know, anybody who's played the Royal Masquerade, you don't get any action really with anybody until chapter 16. And then you get your actual Dirty 30 in chapter 17.
Mhm.
So for Hunter, the journey there is very just like stereotypical romantic speech without really any romantic gesture. It's all very, oh, but one day we will touch and it will be glorious. And it's
Mhm.
like, just, you're just talking. And I don't know why anybody going to believe him, because he says all that stuff to everybody else at court too. And now you're supposed to believe he's saying it to you and he means it?
That is true.
What?
Hunter has a reputation, and I think that, I mean, not that that was lost on me, it wasn't, but I think some people kind of missed it. You know what I mean? Like,
Some
he
people
has a
forget that they have it.
reputation.
The
Yeah.
main character will call him out for that in a
That's
diamond
true.
scene in chapter 3. She'll be like, you say this to other women. And he goes, yeah, this is the first time I mean it. So either he's lying to you now or he lied to everybody else. So if you want to get in bed with a liar, you go ahead. Now, the difference, so with Hunter, that's what you get. You're going to get just a lot of
He's fluffy. He is fluffy.
floury cheese. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
What you get on Caden's route from, let's say, chapter 7 through chapter 16 is foreplay.
It's a slow burn. It is with Keaton.
They're both technically slow burns. I'm gonna give them that route. But the way that it builds up on Caden's route, and each time you do anything that is an intimate scene, you get closer and closer and closer to where it is, and the way they react to each other is foreplay. So one of the big differences is the I'm gonna try to not to go into too much detail so I don't spoil things, but you've taken the scene where at Theodosia's estate and Theo's running late, so Hunter's like, hey, let's go kill time in the maze.
I love that maze, but
You get
for
into
other
the maze,
reasons.
and at the center of the maze, Hunter's there, casually leaning against the fountain or the well or whatever it is on their route, and they've got a rose in their teeth, and you're like, oh, okay.
Like,
And
where'd you get that from?
It's like, all right, Don Lothario, that's great. And then you just kind of chit chat a little bit.
Yeah.
On Caden's route, when Caden catches you because you're playing tag, you get pressed up against the hedges, your hands are pinned up over your head, and you're trying to distract them so that they let you go, either by grinding your hips against them or nibbling on their earlobe. Like, it's a lot of really, just like, each time you
That's
do
saucy.
anything,
I like
it gets really, like, each time you just kind of turn up the simmer on what's going on, and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter until it boils over. It was maybe a Sims reference.
It was
yes,
totally a Sims reference. That's why I laughed. I'm like, Don Lothario? Wow.
and you have to try to get through with Caden. You have to, like, Caden. So Hunter wears everything on his sleeve. Hunter is the sun, right? Hunter's symbolism is the sun. He's warm and he's open. I'm sorry, I meant to say they, them, but I use a male Hunter, so it's always going to come out him anyway. You know, he doesn't hide a lot from anybody. He's just very, there is. And then Caden's is the moon, and it's more mysterious. It's more secretive. It's more, things are hidden in shadows. And it's not that Caden is deadpan or monotonous or anything like that. It's that Caden is reserved. Caden is observing. Caden is
Makes him a good crown shield.
Yes, and he's focusing on different things. So Caden's personality, when you take some of these options, he's actually kind of a snarky bastard sometimes. And you don't get that with Hunter. Like, Hunter's humor is very overt and very obvious, and Caden's is more like sarcastic.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
And so it's like, what was it? Where was I going with this? So it's Caden takes effort. Caden takes time. So if I'm going to go and equate these characters to Kat's favorite book, Hunter is like a watered down Prince Hamid. They have a lot of the same kind of situations where he's in a position where he's going to eventually or could become, a leader of a country, but he doesn't really want to do it. The thing with Hunter is that his story was supposed to be that he's learning that he doesn't want to do it, whereas Prince Hamid's like, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But they've got kind of similar, like very smiley, very open, very wanting to explore things and see new things and get to know people and just get out there and have a good time. And then Caden is more like Mr. Sinclair. You have to work to get to them. You have to you have to be on their route for one. And because when the Royal Masquerade, it does branch more than it does in the other ones, because once you lock them in, then you start seeing the different things. But you have to kind of break down through the colder exterior that they give you for different reasons.
Right.
And then you get this incredibly passionate depth of emotion that's hiding behind what you don't expect, this facade that you don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, honestly, just on your own, because you didn't let us watch you do it, you need to have a proper Caden playthrough.
I will. I plan on it.
Chapter 16, take the rougher options. I
Oh,
did.
yeah. I'm like,
And I
wait,
had-
yes. This is me you're
Okay.
talking to.
So, okay, let me put it this. Okay, so let me sell you on it. Let me sell you on this. Okay, so when you just played it with Hunter, and it's the throne room scene, and it's like, okay, that's great, excellent. Show me how you got your reputation. Cool. One of the best lines in a sexually charged scene comes out of Caden's version of it, which is not in the throne room. If you take the more rough option, he will pull your hair and growl in your ear that he's going to tear you apart.
Oh my god. Well, okay. Okay.
And the first time I read that, I had to put my phone down and walk around for a few minutes.
Yeah, I
was like, excuse me.
I really kind of feel like those royal romance type things, or their more historical fiction type stuff, the chivalrous, they do really well. Pixelberry does really well with that. They do really well with that, because I mean, I know the scenes with Mr. Sinclair were like, whoo, oh my god.
When they balance the public face of things and then what happens in private very well. And Caden's chapter 17 is one of my all-time favorite Dirty 30s, and it's not just because it's Caden. It could have been basically anybody, and it's written at least in 2020, so it's pre the effects of TNA.
Okay.
It's pre the really over-the-top stuff, but it's post the early things that fade to black.
Right.
And it's still one of the best scenes.
Okay.
For that type of content.
Yeah. I look forward to playing Caden's version. I will. I'll tell you. I'll keep folks posted. I don't know. Maybe I'll make some content for that. For the folks that love Caden. I'm not streaming the book again. I love y'all, but no. We're not doing that.
But I will always be offended by Jingo saying that Hunter was fresh garlic bread while Caden was unsalted pretzel sticks.
I don't remember that. Oh my god. Did you say that, Jingo? He owned it. He's owning it back there. He's like nodding his head like, yep, I said that. Yeah, I know I set some people off when I was like, well, what if I said that neither one of them were interesting?
You know what? On Hunter's route, you're right. Because you don't see the things, but you get little things. There's little differences, and one of the fun things about Caden is making him really uncomfortable in the beginning because he's not expecting you to flirt with him. Mm-hmm. So then you make him flustered, but then the way he turns on, like, you're on his route, and then nope, it's predator and prey at that point, and the tables, how the turntables, like it is
Yeah. I like a good
you're in
chase.
trouble now, girl. You're in
Yeah.
trouble.
I like a good chase, so I'm looking forward to playing Caden's route. Actually,
I think you'll
it kind
like
of
it.
reminds me of Mark Antony a little bit.
There's a little bit of that. Basically, any of those like harder to get through to LIs, you're gonna find elements of them in Caden.
Yeah.
He just takes effort. He is not going to just open up. He's you have to try.
Yeah.
And then you get an excellent payoff. But, Hunter is there if you want, I'm going to call him an easy route, and you want somebody who's just who they are on how they present themselves on the surface. But Caden has reasons for that, and you learn it, I could tell you all of the reasons why Caden is the way Caden is, and I could tell you why the main character.
You can tell that you love this character.
Well, I mean, like so just to be honest to Hunter about things, like I think Hunter's story doesn't live up in what we have, because they didn't have the opportunity to really tell it. It needed another book to really deal with, because Hunter's thing is, okay, here we go. Hunter and the main character are parallels in determining what you want out of the future. One of the common themes in TRM is destiny, and whether or not it's an immutable thing. So Hunter, realizing that when he had previously thought that destiny was kind of preordained, like this is the path he's on, this is what his father wanted him to do, he's supposed to become the king, and not wanting that and trying to divert from that is Hunter's story. But it all happens at the end, and it gets kind of just lost. And then the main character figuring out what she wants to do with hers, and how she kind of never really gains freedom. It's one of the things she can say in the beginning is she wants to be free. She wants to have the experience of being free when she spent all that time in the library, and then she just wants to do that. But then she doesn't get that opportunity, because now all of a sudden she's being thrust into having to play noble, and she has to follow along with these new rules, and she has to potentially marry somebody she doesn't even know in order to save the kingdom. And then, oh shit, now she's got to become queen. Like, she loses all of her agency. So it's the dichotomy between a main character who wants to be able to make choices for themselves and no longer can when it seems like she should be able to, and then someone who never did make choices for themselves, which in my theory, that's why Hunter is such a player, is because it's the one thing they had control over. And then all of a sudden they have this freedom, and that's why they take that on both routes to be like, I don't want this. You take it. And then for Caden, the relationship with the main character is about dealing with an adverse past and coming beyond that. Because Caden, sure, technically a noble, but is blamed for his father's mistakes, has a horrible childhood, loses his one friend in that because of some girl falling in love with him, and Cyrus can't handle his shit. So his is accepting where you come from and going above that, like proving that you are not your past. And so the main character is someone who is, adopted for the most of the time. We don't know what her lineage is. She was stuffed away in a library, and now all of a sudden she's this odd man out. She doesn't really fit in with the nobles. And so that's why she relates with Caden, is because he understands what it's like to be that way, to be on this cusp, both noble and not. And his whole thing is that destiny isn't set in stone, so you can do whatever the heck it is you want. And it's that story weaving out. So Hunter's thing, just his personality and his path is never really fully fleshed out, because there isn't the opportunity to show it. Or they didn't take the opportunity to show it. They could have done it, and they just didn't. And it probably would have come out in a second book, when his sister is freaking leading a rebellion, because it's likely what would have happened.
Yeah, and I would have loved that. That would have been real cool.
Because it would have been
at least two books would have been really good. Would have given us a more, well-rounded story. Because it did kind of feel a little rushed. It's like, oh, we're taking her down, and then
it had a hiatus of death back when they did those.
Like, oh, ouch. Okay. You know.
So it's like Hunter doesn't get the opportunity to tell a full story. And that's why Hunter is who they are at the start of the book as they are at the end of the book.
Yeah, no, I do plan on playing Caden's route. Yeah, I really didn't take a whole lot of scenes in that book when I played it the first time, which was kind of like, oh wow, because I didn't even buy most of the outfits.
Well,
I had to
remember
buy
you
them on
changed
stream.
houses.
Yeah, I
You
did
changed
change
houses, and
houses.
so some of the dresses would reset because of that.
Yeah, but when I played it the first time, I didn't buy most of it because I wasn't sure I was gonna like the book. Honestly, I wasn't sure I was gonna like it, so I was like, I'll skip that dress. I'll just wear the black. Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna like it. I went in there fully expecting to hate that book because it was connected to me. It was obviously connected to me to the Royal Romance, which is not a series that I like. And yeah, now look at me. Oops.
Catch back up. MA had said that Masquerade was his first Cordonia story, so he likely missed a lot of the lore references. Oh, wow, that was your first intro. Yeah, I mean, I played Rules of Engagement first, and then I played the Royal Romance. Yeah. And actually, I played the Royal Romance those first. Well, I don't think the third book hadn't come out yet. But I read that first book multiple times. Actually, I really liked it. You know, because I wanted to nail down who I was really trying to get with in that book, and it always came back to Liam. I just like Liam a lot. I haven't done a full Drake playthrough. I want to, because I keep hearing that his route is very good. You know, I tried with Maxwell. I don't get it. If you love Maxwell, I'm sorry. Everybody loves who they love, but even I don't love Max. And normally I love the love list. You know,
Maxwell is so popular though.
Maxwell
So
is popular. Yeah.
I used to think that it was Drake and it was Drake first and then Liam, but I think it's actually Liam and then Maxwell with what I see from people these days.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look on Instagram, Maxwell is very popular. You know,
Maxwell everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I said I think I went Masquerade, Crown and the Flame, which is a great series. If you haven't read Crown and the Flame, highly recommend it. It's actually really good. And then TRI. I don't get it either. I tried. I did the kiss scene in the club because it was just like, you know what? Let me see. You know, I get, you know, and it's like, all right. And then I was sitting there thinking, why would the MC pick Max? Why? And it was just like, you know, Max believed in her the whole time. He was like, you know what? There's you know. Only thing was that instead of saying, you know what, I really like you and I want you to come back for me, he was like, well, no, I want you to try to do this. You know, so it was kind of like, okay, that's kind of shifty, but he did believe in you. You know, he tried to help you out with stuff at court. He gave you tips on how to deal with court, you know. So, I mean, I can kind of see why MC would pick Maxwell. But whew, when we got to that honeymoon scene, I was like, that's a wrap. I can't do this. I can't do this. I tried so hard. I really did. I tried. I played that whole scene, Maxwell.
Maxwell looks like my brother. I will never do that.
Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. You got a really good reason. Maxwell is a man-child. Now, Bertrand, honestly, I was kind of hoping that you could actually romance Bertrand. I did like him. I liked him better than Maxwell. You know? That'd have been an interesting route. A man with gorgeous eyebrows. M.A. That's funny. Yeah, Allie was like, not Fishty pulling out the big guns comparing Caden to Kat's favorite Li. Yeah, it's a compelling argument. I love Mr. Sinclair. So yeah, it
romanced
works.
Sinclair, so I knew it was round.
Yes. To discuss how
What?
people are incorrect about the Hunter-Caden relationship because I didn't catch it at first.
Mm. People think they're
That's-
friends.
No, they're
They don't
not.
like each other. They start out not really like they're on a business relationship.
Yeah,
They don't.
Caden tolerates Hunter. And
Hayden
barely.
tolerates Hunter, and there are a few things along the way that kind of that give you the impression a little bit that Hunter's annoyed that Caden is good at what he does and he's not noble.
Yeah. I feel like Hunter actually looks down on Caden.
Like Hunter is supposed to be someone like one of his things is he's supposed to be like, oh yeah, I like normies. Look, I wanted to invite everybody in to have a play, and but he's not like fully in line with it. He still is a noble and still does things that like the way a noble does and doesn't maybe realize it. So there are times in it where Hunter just sort of seems to suggest that he's better because he's a noble.
Yeah. So yeah, he does give those vibes off. Yeah, no. If anybody, I mean, I saw that immediately. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think they were friends.
There were a lot of people, especially at the beginning. I remember there's a fan art that I don't remember who did it, and it was a cute fan art, and it was of a version of Caden dragging away a version of Hunter who's like got hearts, like love hearts in the air. I don't know if it's because of the main character or somebody else, but it's like the impression was that like how many times has Caden had to do this? It was like, well, one, he's only been Hunter's crown shield for like 3 days because he was Kendra's, and two, they're not friends. They get into okay at the joust, the tournament, when you're standing there talking about stuff and they start getting snarky with each other. That's really indicative of their whole relationship. They keep poking at each other and being like, you're not better than I am because you're a noble, or you're not better than I am because you're so capable while not being a noble. And the main character's just in the middle. But a lot of people think that they were buddies. It's like, well, that downplays the whole thing at the end when Hunter finally refers to Caden as a friend and as like a brother or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sibling, nothing. I think it's just friend. And it's like, look, now they're friends 15 chapters later.
Yeah. It took a very extraordinary set of circumstances to happen. They weren't liking each other. As for Courtesan of Rome, I didn't romance Syphax, obviously, when I played it the first time. I tried to romance, was it Cassius? Yeah. Tried, and then I met Mark Antony, and then it was like, bye.
I think that happened to a lot of us.
Like, bye. It was like it was in the Freshman. Chris, hashtag my first choice is love. Chris was my first choice is love. Then I met Zig, and it was like, bye, Chris. I gotta go. Like, I really like Zig. This is over. I can't do this anymore. And it was the same thing. It was like I was cool with Cassius, and still I met Mark Antony, and then it's like, okay, this is over. we're not cool anymore. You know. I know a lot of people like Syphax. I wasn't. I'm sorry. Cassius was a Debbie Downer. Yeah, a little bit. But I think he had a lot going on, you know. He was trying to be a leader and kind of felt like he had to save Rome, you know. And Mark Antony is over here like, you know what? I got power. I could care less about whatever everybody else is doing. I'm doing me. That's it. You know? I didn't even see Mark Antony being all, you know, hey, for the glory of Rome, blah. You know, he didn't even care. He was there for the fun. Is that what kind of what you got, Fishty? He was there for grins and giggles. He wasn't there for any other reason. Don't care.
Mark Antony was there ultimately for Mark Antony.
Yeah, he was there for himself, you know.
Under the guise of being there for Caesar, who had done so much for him, but he wasn't going to remain loyal to Caesar if Caesar did something that he disagreed with.
Mm-hmm.
Because, eventually I mean, he's not involved in Caesar's death, but eventually he undoes things that Caesar did, and so Mark Antony is just, he's there for himself.
Oh, MA, that would be awesome. Need a way to view which books you played in order. Yeah, I would
That'd be
love to see that. Just like, okay, this is what you played, and this is in the order you played it, and this is when when you did it or whatever. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Loyal says I was with Caitlin, but she got on my nerves so bad she went bye-bye.
Caitlin is so self-absorbed. I can't stand Caitlin.
Yeah, I didn't like Caitlin. I was like, oh wait, is there a chance? There's a chance to pawn her off on somebody else? Okay, let's do that. I didn't like Caitlin.
Well, I applaud you for taking Syphax's route and sticking to that. I could never.
Becca? What? No. Becca's right up there with Poppy for me. No. No.
Bye, Allie.
Never. Could never. All right, Allie. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Dumped Caitlin thinking we'd make up later. Oops. Her later girlfriend was better fit anyway. Yeah, you're right. Poppy is a downgrade. Poppy is never a good choice. Ever.
I also stuck with Chris the whole time, Katnaris. I couldn't get past Zig's anger issues.
I know. I felt so bad because I really liked Chris. I like Chris a lot.
You know who didn't like Chris?
Did. Oh, you didn't
Eric
like Chris?
didn't like Chris. No, Eric didn't like Chris. Eric used to say that Chris was the worst LI, and then he took everybody's route. Chris is now his favorite LI.
Yes.
Justice for Chris.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, Chris is great. I liked Chris.
I get why people don't like Chris though, because the first book can really put you off of Chris because he's pushed more than the other two. But I do want to point out that James and Caitlin are both crazy forced on you as well, and they both try to kiss you, but Chris never does that.
Nope. Gentleman. Let's see. Troy says he did, but geez, lighten up, dude. MC tried to sex him out of his misery in one scene, and still he was ho-hum. I was like, nope, fall back. Give me Antony. I know. I know. And then Jingo was like, you said you weren't gonna, like, but Mark Antony. Like, no.
The best thing about Cassius is that you can then use him to piss off Mark Antony later and just ruin everything. Just be like, hi, I was playing you too.
Oh, boy. Yes. Oh, man. That's so funny. Kenner says, I like powerful men, and I was going to choose the one who lasted longer, and so MA was the easy choice because, hello, second triumvirate. Yeah. Dia says, I stuck beside James until he changed his face. Yeah. The face change on James, it was like, what? Why? And then I heard other stuff. So I was like, oh, well, that's a bummer. I tried a couple of the scenes with James, and I wasn't feeling him either. I didn't romance James.
I'm sorry. James is pretentious and kind of mean to MC sometimes. I feel like he talks down to her, and he bores me.
James had a botched plastic surgery. That's funny. Yeah, I liked Zig. I know Zig had some issues, and the fights in the apartment were kind of a pain in the butt. It was like, why are we like this? Like, stop having arguments about stupid stuff. Like, can't take it.
That's at least with everybody. At least everybody had arguments about stupid stuff. I want to say
true.
one more thing in defense of Chris. He's the only person who makes a decision that doesn't take him like out of state. Like that's the big breakup at the end is that the main character wants to go to London, but then the LI has made some other choice. He's signed with the local professional football team. It's a 30-minute train ride, like no big deal. Zig's like, I'm gonna go teach English in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. That was kind of like, wait a minute, without me? Like, wait, you know?
Caitlin's like, I'm gonna go make music in New York. James is like, I'm gonna go live in a playwriter's compound in the wild reaches of Alaska. and Becca's like, we're moving to California, and main character's like, but I live here. But she gets
Yeah.
all pissed off at Chris, who just wants to go play football down the street. When you spend time telling him he should go play football down the street, and then
Yes.
she goes and acts like that.
Yes.
Ugh. Poor Chris.
Nia's like, I love a snob though. What do these confessions say about me? He love you anyway.
As long as you know why you love somebody and you stand with it, I am there for you.
Yep.
Except for poppy people, I don't support that.
I don't get that ever. I don't understand. Let's see, Abby and Tyler as a couple, so good or no good? Oh, that's a good one, MA.
No.
I
God.
didn't. Yeah.
No.
And then it was like you had to like play marriage therapist for them. It's like I don't have time for this. I got my own problem. I don't have time to deal with you guys. You know, if you weren't feeling this, you shouldn't have moved in together. Like, what's your buzz? You know,
Right? And then she's like just freeloading off of you, and she feels like she has a say on what's going on in the house she doesn't pay for.
yeah, like hello. You know, like I don't think so. Y'all are tripping.
And she eats your cake. Don't eat my cake. It's my cake.
You think Becca has character development and admits her faults? Yeah, okay.
She does.
Doesn't make her a good LI, in my opinion.
True.
Just means she grew as a character.
I think the relationship with Becca was kind of strange to me because it moves so quickly in comparison because you're just fooling around throughout the sophomore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, let's move in together.
Yeah, like what?
It's like, do you want this thing to fall apart? Because it's gonna.
Whereas Poppy reminded me of my narcissistic ex. She had flashbacks. Yeah. A relationship with Poppy, no, I don't. I mean, I get it. You know, it's like, no, I don't get it. Let's not. No, I don't get it. You know, I mean, I know there's not a whole lot of options for romancing, you know, for romance in Queen Bee, but Poppy? All people? When there's a perfectly good Zoe right there? Like, what? You know? Even though I do feel like Zoe got the short end of the stick on that one.
I think Queen Bee was supposed to be a single LI book, and then they didn't when they released it as VIP, and they made it so that Zoe was an LI.
Mm-hmm.
How it feels.
Yes. Yeah, because I was sitting there. I was actually trying to romance Zoe when I was playing through Queen Bee 2, because I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, professor, you know, do, but I just want to see, you know, what vibes do her and Zoe have, and it was just like almost none. It was like they just messing around, and then Zoe's still pushing you towards the professor, just like she did in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, but aren't we together? You know, and it's like, you know, it's almost like it's kind of like the stuff with Poppy where, you know, you're just kind of playing around with Poppy a little bit. You don't really end up together and stuff. And that's kind of what it's like with Zoe. It's like, okay, you know, I just mess around with Zoe because I live in the apartment with her. That was the vibe.
Isn't it like right after you can be like, no, I want to be with you, that she's like, cool, why don't you go meet the professor in the clock tower?
Yes! Yes! And it was just like, oh, okay, if you're going to be like this, I'm just going to restart this. That's exactly what I did. I was like, okay, look, you know, Zoe, girl, like, stop pointing me towards the professor. I'm trying to hook up with you, you know? So yeah, after she told us to go to the clock tower, which clock tower scene, really loved that. I restarted the book. I was like, nope, I can't do this. Can't do this. No, I can't. Zoe was the cheapest LI I ever romanced. Oh, like diamond wise?
Yeah, there's not a lot of scenes.
Yeah, that's true. I
It's got
don't
like
feel like
3 in the entirety of the first book.
yeah. To me, I'd say this anywhere is that I kind of feel like Zoe was an afterthought, a lot like what's her face, my first two loves.
Ava.
Yeah, Ava. Ava was. I don't think Ava was supposed to be a lot.
I agree.
And I said that. It was like, okay, I think they took the long hiatus because they had heard a lot of people saying, you know, we want Ava, we want Ava, we want Ava. They went and brought her into the route. Not supposed to be.
If she was supposed to be there, because she was customizable from the beginning, then it is not well done because she feels like such an afterthought. She feels like they went, oh shit, we forgot to do a female LI,
Right.
and then they just tossed her in.
Yeah.
And it's
You know. And then it was like, wait a minute. You basically told me I'm a horrible friend. You know, you know, Ava kind of treated MC bad. You know.
why I named her worst BFF ever.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, if I remember right, you know, it was just kind of, I just thought it was so weird that they were together, and then all of a sudden, you know, now Ava's mad at you because of this, and then he's treating you like trash, and then all of a sudden it's like, but I like you. It's like, what? You what? You know? Yeah, like nah. And I played a lot of Ava. I played a lot of Ava in Ava's routes because I wanted to see where this went. Ultimately, I went with Jennings because Jennings got a lot of hate on Facebook, so I did it to spite a lot of people. That's why I got that Jennings 88 shirt. I was like, "Oh, your team Noah? Nope." I'm totally throwing it in everybody's. I totally did. That was bad. He was out of spite, and I ended up actually.
Honestly, all of the allies in that book are toxic.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They're all
That's
bad.
true.
It's just like,
Yeah.
which one do you tolerate the most? Because that's
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the guys put this unnecessary pressure on her, and then Ava's like, guess what? I'm a lesbian. I like you. You have 4 days.
Yeah. You know, it was like, what? You know?
I'm gonna date somebody else if you don't love me now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had these feelings until 2 seconds ago. Can I have a moment? No.
Yeah.
You may not.
You know, it's like, but wait, but you were dating Mason.
Yeah.
You know, and not, I mean, people figure out their sexuality later on and all that stuff. That's not the part I'm not down with. That has nothing to do with that. It's just that it just kind of felt forced. Like, and not just with Ava, really with all of them. Really.
I don't remember where it was, but I told somebody recently that for my 2 first loves, you aren't really making any decisions. You're just going on the ride with whatever the main character is doing. So if you don't want to take diamond scenes, don't take diamond scenes. You're not really gonna change anything on that. It's just changing. You might feel differently about who you end up with in the last chapter, but you're not gonna. Everybody's still gonna treat you the same way. It doesn't. It.
Yeah,
Just,
I mean, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of folks that probably haven't read it, but it looks like most of the folks in our chat here have. You know, it really, you know, that scene in the ski lodge. I took both of them. I was like, oh wait, I can hook up with Mason and hook up with Noah. I'm taking both scenes. Just do it. Like, you know,
There's
and
a lot
nobody
of
got
sexual
mad.
activity in that high school book. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, like nobody got mad. Nobody was like, "Why are you over there messing with him?" And, you know, there was no jealousy, nothing like that. You know, it's like nobody knew that you even did that. You know, so it's kind of like, all right, yeah. See, could the My Two First Loves daily format work for a different, maybe non-high school story? Something kind of soap opera-y?
I think a mystery would be really cool if told in tiny little increments.
That
Like
would
every
be
day
good.
you just got a little tidbit, like a new little thing. You get a little bit more, a little bit farther down the line, but it's got to be something that's fully fleshed out and feels like they have 100 chapters worth pre-established, already ready to go. And because not so you avoid the feelings in My Two First Loves where you're not sure whether or not they really knew what they were doing or if they were just winging it as they went along, and you just got a little bit further on the mystery every day.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. That would be really cool. I tried to go back and tried to read it again, and it was like, this is too much. There's a lot. There's way too much. So I had to stop reading. I had to stop. Let's see. Lex said she didn't hate Noah's route. There was actually a lot of good stuff with Noah. I liked the stuff with his family. I liked Noah as a character and as an ally. I thought he was a lot spicier than Mason was. I was like,
Noah
Sir!
gets a lot of character development too. Like
Yeah.
Noah gets humbled and has to come to terms with the fact that they were prejudicial against Mason, or no. Do we have that backwards?
Mason
Maybe
does
we have
get
it backwards. Mason get. Who are we talking about here? Who's who? I didn't call them Mason. I had Diamond, Mining, and Michael Logan, and worst BFF ever. I don't know their names.
Yeah, Noah was the bad boy with the leather
Noah
jacket.
was a bad boy. Okay, I think they both actually get humbled because Mason's the one who has to realize that he had he misunderstood like what Noah's motivations were and what was going on there. Like, and then Ava's just she's having her own coming of age thing. It's like they have these interesting aspects, but the way that they act toward MC is just
yeah. Because I mean, we could have had Ava's story told within that same book, but not as an LI option. It would have, it could have been done differently. Just something to where it's like, hey, this is what's happening. This is I'm trying to come to terms with this. MC is like, she's like, I have to talk to you about it. I'm gay, and it's like, okay, and just kind of go off and deal with that. That's okay. You know what I mean? I think Ava could have been like a whole other main character to play with that route.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it's like, oh, now playing as Ava. Now you got to go through and navigate. Now you've come out and all that stuff, which I think would have been actually interesting. So it's a lot of offshoots could do. Mason's a jerk. I don't think Mason. Mason has moments, though. He does have moments. Principal Jennings, look at his dad. Eric came in saying, wait.
It is true.
Yeah, no one listened to Fishty. She's crazy. That's what Eric said.
That is also true. But what he says Mason has a horrible family, but he's also written to believe he's owed the main characters love because of their history, and he is kind of written that way. Like, he gives her like 2 seconds, and then he goes off and dates Ava, and then Ava gives her like 2 seconds, and then she's like, well, now I'm gonna date this other girl, and
Mason, it kind of took a little more. He had more work to do with Noah. It wasn't immediate.
Right, because you don't have the history with him that you had with the other two.
Yeah.
It had the potential to be something that could have worked and could have been interesting. But instead, we got what we got. Valiant effort, I guess, maybe? If they had... No, I'm not going to say that. No, because Ava doesn't feel like a proper love interest. The characters are all toxic to one another. They make stupid decisions. But hey,
Hey, Eric.
if you like it, you can like it.
Yep, because I did, and I liked Mason. I was gonna go with Noah, I really was, but honestly, Facebook was kind of pushed me over to the Mason side. I try to I try to give the love to the loveless. I really do. Mason, poor Andy over there, in Heaven's Secret. People like, how, why? Like, Andy does a lot of brave stuff. He
Oh.
fights. You know? I like Andy. Cat's here for all the unloved characters. Yeah. Except Syphax didn't love Syphax. He's not unloved though. He's actually very loved. I think more people like Mark Antony in Acor than they want to admit. But just about everybody I know likes him. And we covered a lot. We talked a lot. Your stream time is either coming up or it has started.
It's
Has it
whenever. It's whatever.
not? Okay.
I can do it whenever I want.
Oh yeah, that is. Pretty sure Andy was a junkie when he was alive. Just the impression that you get. Dang, Eric, jeez. I would have thought he was some kind of like Daredevil or something. He's always wanting to jump off of stuff. And
He says he was an adrenaline junkie.
yeah, the adrenaline junkie, you know. I was, I kind of thought maybe motorbikes or BMX or whatever,
And he
motocross.
died in a base jumping accident.
Did he?
Hmm.
Oh, God.
I have taken his scenes just to irritate Allie because Nate has made him really creepy.
Oh no.
So,
Oh, making my dude creepy. No. I liked Andy's scenes more than I like Dino's scenes. I don't
well,
love Dino. I don't love.
Team
I mean, if you're
Lucifer.
yeah, I mean, if you I mean, like, if you had to make me pick somebody, like, okay, Kat's getting her arm twisted. Who do you love in Heaven's Secret? It'd be like Lucifer.
Definitely
yeah.
Team Lucy.
Hey man, he died trying to motorbike race Bertrand. Oh.
That's the crossover we don't need right now.
No. Lex says, I liked Syphax. Syphax is very sweet and he does a lot of stuff, but yeah, no, I just find him interesting. Choices Lady says, I always go for the most forced upfront LI. They're in your face for a reason. A lot of stories don't make sense without them. True. Royal Romance is one of those.
That is definitely true. That is like the whole of the Royal Heir onward makes no sense if you aren't with Liam. You can kind of get away with the Royal Romance not romancing Liam, but once you get into the other ones, you're like, what? Why? Isn't this your kingdom? I'm a duchess. Why
Yeah.
am I doing all this?
I know, it's almost like, wait, why aren't we running the show? Because it sure feels like we're running the show.
We absolutely are. They defer to her, like, constantly.
What
It's
do you
like,
think?
sure.
You should do this. Go meet these people. Like. Sins of London is nearly over, and I'm still uncertain if the character I picked is an LI or a repeated hookup. Well, I didn't read Sins of.
Oh,
I created a character in Sins of London, and then I saw you couldn't make a black character. So like
yeah, she doesn't. They don't have a very dark sprite in that. It's. I don't think you need to play that one. It kind of just loses its way every season.
Oh, okay. So I don't feel bad about that one. What was the one that I was playing? Third season. It's kind of like it's.
Was it Chasing You?
Yes. First season of Chasing You, I really liked. Second season was it's alright. And I think the third season is when we went to Japan, and it was just like, why? And why are we taking everybody with us? Oh, yeah. It's like, why is it this still about the MC? Like, well, we're in a whole other country. What is happening here? I romanced Sam. Really like. It was very awkwardly written. You'd think they didn't realize they were getting more than one season.
That is
Yeah.
a good way to describe Sins of London. It's. Yeah, and.
Yeah, I think that's what Emma was talking about. That is, yeah. Chasing was a slow decline each season, almost as bad as Open Heart. I'm gonna agree. Because that first season, they kind of, out the gate, it was exciting, interesting, and it made some sense a little bit, except for the cousin. The cousin, that was weird. Like, wait, where did the cousin even go? Like, what? Wasn't he your cousin? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's your step cousin, but like at the same time, you like grew up together. It's very weird.
It is very weird.
He used to greet you by squeezing your boobs, and so did his sister.
Yeah,
they changed that though.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
I played it before they changed that.
They now he doesn't, because like it was when he used to when it first came out, he pulled you into the bushes and his hand was definitively on your boob, like it talked about it. But now it's not. Now it's around your waist. And then when what's her name showed up, his sister, who he's sleeping with, spoiler alert,
yep,
that hasn't changed. But his adopted sister, she would come over and she'd be like, look, you've gotten so big, and like squeeze your boobs. But now she squeezes your cheeks, and you're like, still like, why are you doing that? But I do not know why they thought that was okay.
Yeah, that was a little too weird, but I like the rest of it minus those folks. Yeah, but yeah, I ended up liking Sam and his, because I didn't see anybody playing it. I saw people playing, what is Alexander.
Alexander is the biggest one in that.
Yeah. And I did the hospital scene with the oh gosh, I forget what that gal's with the blonde.
Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel. It was just like, whoa, oh, that's spicy. Okay. I don't know if anybody else did that scene, but if you did that scene, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I was very surprised, and I was like, all right, okay. I liked Rachel a lot. I think I will probably replay it for her rep.
She's the one I intend to go with when I finally get around to playing it.
Yeah, I liked Rachel. And, yeah, I killed a lot of people. It was bad. That was a rough playthrough. It really was. Oh, you took that Rachel scene? Yeah, I was like, ooh, this is spicy. You gonna head out? All right. Well, Fishty, I know that we're getting close to like almost 7 o'clock here for and stuff, and you're gonna need some time to get prep for your what? I mean,
just need to start
move everybody over,
and then I can. Did I do that? Hold on.
Yeah.
Did I set up myself? I should have. I need to turn on my captioner. Log in. Oh my god. Why do you make me log in all the time?
Yeah, but I like oops. Echo. Okay, there we go. I had to mute the site. There we go. I always have fun talking to you. Always cool.
Glad I could be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's always a good time and stuff, and there's like a lot of things that we really mesh well with, and that's like the cool part. It's like, okay, I know, it's like, okay, most of the time I'm looking, I'm like, okay, you feel me, right? Right?
Yeah, usually. Play Cadence route so we can talk about this, okay?
Yes, I will totally do that. I promise. No problem. I think everybody in this chat already follows Fishtybuns. If you don't already, well, why not? Hello. She's a lot of fun, obviously. Really cool people. Check her out. That's her channel right there. Just hit that heart and you'll automatically follow her. We're going to be going to her channel because she's streaming in 7-ish minutes.
I did that so that people could like go to the bathroom.
Yeah, so take your time, go ahead and grab you some extra snacks, get you some drinks and stuff, and then come back. Because by this time, we're going to be over hanging out with her, playing Mismatch, chapters 11 and 12, and maybe 13 if she's feeling it. So, thanks again, Fishty, for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah, no problem, and I'll see you here in a couple seconds.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Listen to me ramble about stuff.
Oh yeah, no problem, folks. You're welcome. And as for me, I'm Martian Cat, of course. Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, same screen name that I use right here. TikTok and Instagram, it's the same screen name, but with an underscore after it. There's no stream on Thursday. My next scheduled stream will be on Friday, where I think we're gonna be playing more Black Desert, but it will be with Bitch and Cupcake. She's my Friday night stream partner. She's a lot of fun. I love streaming with her. We've been streaming together for years, stuff, and it's just always a good time. So, no stream Thursday. It'll be Friday, and we'll be back with Choices streams on the February 2nd. That's a Thursday. So we're gonna start Distant Shores per your request. Thanks so much for your alerts and chat and views and host bits and subs and point redemptions where I get to tell bad jokes. All these things help us further the ideal of the red planet that we're all Martians. And let us go and visit the channel. Later.